OCC strategically is all about credit momentum. So it's all about moving students. If they have hands-on experience, credit for prior learning, past work experience, an industry recognized credential, we could bring it in as credit for prior learning. We're all about driving that student to completion. So credit momentum is huge at OCC. We're doubling our graduation rate. We know the longer it takes a student to complete, other barriers come in the way. So she really, hit the nail on the head that a lot of the short-term training program is all hands-on, and that's what a lot of students strive for. Industry does look to strategically partner with us. We have those consistent large and small employers that attend our classroom presentations, offer industry recognized tours, come to interview day, do conversions of our students, sponsor our students, and that's a tuition program. So they're paying for the tuition of their employee. And then you do have those ones that are just looking to fulfill that quota. We have a lot of contracting agencies that reach out to us looking for our students. So they're just looking for talent. I would say the majority of those contracting agencies are looking for those soft skills because they deem the employer's going to train them on the job. Not common enough, even though the model's been around forever. It's that truly it is that earn while you learn training model. It is a company having a training plan that when those folks retire out of their organization for 40 years and that education and that training is lost, or when that person leaves, that HR representative or that HR director doesn't know how to bring in the talent because they've left that organization without that knowledge. So apprenticeship is a great way to retain that. It's been around for years in manufacturing, a large uptick in Michigan with healthcare apprenticeships, dialysis, EKG, pharmacy tech, MA, nursing, very, very much growing, probably quickly in our country than in Michigan by far. Today, the Department of Labor Office of Apprenticeship just approved standards for an assistant principal apprenticeship program. So the need is there. The need is definitely there. And what more important to have apprenticeships than an education? I mean, we need to educate our community to enter that workforce. A lot of the CTE programs value mentorship, a lot of work-based learning programs, experiential learning programs. I mean, our healthcare education has been doing it with years with practicums and clinical experiences. Even our education with you need to substitute teaching and field experience to be a teacher. So in certain areas, I like to call them career clusters, CTE programs, that's happening at the secondary level of education. So probably just more of it when they get onto a work site or a job, into a job. But I mean, HR directors.
Where it actually builds in that mentorship. It's called on-the-job training, but it's really that mentoring. That's there's the formal aspect in the classroom at Oakland Community College for that trade-related instruction of apprenticeship, and there's that on-the-job, which is that mentoring that goes on, and that gives the company typically 4 years under that apprenticeship to be building up those relationships. So not only is it a great attraction tool for a company to say, hey, here's something where you're developing yourself and I'm investing in you for 4 years, but a great retention tool because very rarely do we see individuals that complete their apprenticeship and then suddenly switch companies because you've built up that relationship with your employer. And stackable credentials really shows how those pathways build upon each other. So you may start off with a short-term training program that Sandra and her team are doing in economic and workforce development, and that may get you a job very quickly and the skills to get you that job. And then there's a link into, very often there's X number of credits that go along with that, even though it was offered under a non-credit. So now it's like, the next rung on the ladder is this short-term credential that I can get. I might still be working and I might come back in the evening and get that. And then there can be a little bit longer term credential that leads to the associate degree, all of those skills-based classes. And then add in on your 15 credits for your arts and science, your general studies, you've got an associate degree. So that's how those credentials stack. So you're not losing time, you're not losing energy, you're moving towards higher levels of education, but there's options for a job, going out to a job, coming back in from a job. there's for the last several years, there's been an increasing awareness of just the wonderful opportunities within skilled trades. Um, you know, a kind of a reawakening, so to speak, for those skilled trades opportunities, really happening at the high school level. Beyond that, one of the local schools recently established an apprenticeship wall to call attention to that. Um, and again, an awareness when people say, "Hey, college isn't for me," that awareness that, hey, your local community college is a pathway into the skilled trades, into machining, into welding, into automotive repair, all these other great areas. So I'd say that the opportunity within skilled trades is as strong as it's been for a long time, with that reawakening of it. The opportunities most certainly are there. And we talk about AI changing everything. AI will change and is changing the skilled trades area too, making more powerful tools for doing things. But that hands-on aspect, that aspect of building things, whether it be highways or whether it be machinery, that's one of the things where people talk about AI proofing their job, because while AI will change how the learning is done and how the job is done, you need the people to bring things together and to do that. So it's just a wonderful time for rediscovering those opportunities in skilled trades.
I think if I can add on there too, the county recently hosted the MI Career Quest, and that really gives young people an opportunity to go and check out all the trades that they don't know about really, and getting rid of some of those myths that, working in a machine shop is a dirty place to work. It's not any longer. Some of those machine shops they're beautiful and they're very advanced in all the technology that they have in them. So kind of opening the kids' eyes to career pathways and then getting them excited so that they can go home to their parents or whomever is around them and talk about these kinds of things that they witnessed, so that then they can send the message that, hey, this is something I want to do. It was really exciting. I got, I was able to weld today and try to do some beading, and it kind of seemed like a game, but it was actually me doing it and trying to be precise and having my body positioned a certain way and so forth, or going into a paint booth and trying to paint a fender of a motorcycle. These are things that the kids can experience at a young age to then see this is a pathway I want to go on to, and start off somewhere and then move on to what's next. You work for a little while being a painter, but then you might be able to manage, folks and become a project manager, and some of the things that you can actually go into moving along a career pathway.
College has recently become involved with the maritime industry and preparing individuals for skilled careers within the maritime. And you think about maritime, well, we don't have any shipbuilding yards within Michigan, but we certainly have that network. And this kind of started with the U.S. Navy, and again, their dire need for individuals to build submarines. They can't find enough individuals to build submarines to keep up with the national security. So we have a lot of suppliers within Michigan that supply the maritime industry. So that's another aspect of those skilled trades, and another industry that people may not be thinking about, or high schoolers may not be thinking about, is, there's a valid career pathway here that pays real well. That's very interesting work. So we're real proud of that relationship that's been evolving and developing.